Bryce James finally got a real chance to show what he looks like against serious competition. And after watching Arizona's exhibition tour in Lithuania, I think we have a much better idea of where he stands right now. And with Bryce, the conversation is always going to be bigger than a normal college basketball player because of his last name. But once the season starts, none of that is going to matter to Tommy Lloyd. He has to play the guys who give Arizona the best chance to win, and Bryce is still trying to prove that he can be one of those players. Across 3 games on the trip, Bryce averaged around 4 points in about 15 minutes per game. He came off the bench in the first game, then started the final 2. So Arizona clearly wanted to get a good look at him and give him meaningful minutes against legit competition. The production wasn't huge, but that really wasn't the most important part of this trip anyway. This was more about seeing whether Bryce could handle the speed, physicality, and decision-making that comes with playing college basketball. And I think the biggest thing people have to understand is that Bryce is not walking into an easy situation. Arizona is loaded. Ivan Karchinkov looked like one of the best players on the entire trip and had a 30-point game against Lithuania's senior national team. Caleb Holt is one of the best freshmen in the country. Derek Dixon was extremely efficient and showed that he can score without needing a ton of shots. Arizona also has talented size inside, and they weren't even at full strength during the entire trip. When everybody is available, there are going to be a lot of good players fighting for the same minutes Bryce wants. That is why Bryce's role is going to come down to trust more than anything else. He doesn't need to be Arizona's leading scorer. He doesn't need the ball in his hands every possession. And honestly, Arizona probably doesn't need him trying to prove how talented he is every time he checks into the game. They need him to become reliable, defend, rebound, make the simple pass, knock down open shots. Don't turn good possessions into bad ones. Those are the things that are going to determine whether Bryce gets real minutes this season. And defensively, that is probably where the biggest improvement still needs to happen. There were too many moments on this trip where Bryce looked like he was still adjusting to everything happening around him. At this level, defense is not just staying in front of the guy you're guarding. You have to understand where the ball is, where your man is, when to help, when to recover, when to box out, and when to rotate. Bryce has the size and athletic ability to become a solid defender, but right now, the awareness and consistency still need work. And that is completely normal for somebody who hasn't played much real college basketball. Practice can help you learn a system, but game speed is different. Everything happens faster. Players are stronger. The reads happen quicker. Mistakes that you could recover from in high school become baskets at this level. That is what Bryce is learning right now. The same thing shows up offensively. There are definitely flashes. He can shoot the ball. He has some size. He can get out in transition. He has enough athletic ability to make plays. But now it's about understanding when to attack, when to shoot, and when to just move the basketball. Arizona's offense does not need Bryce forcing difficult shots or trying to create something every time he touches it. They have too much talent for that. If he gets an open 3, take it. If the defense closes out, make the next read. If somebody else has a better opportunity, give them the ball. That sounds simple, but sometimes becoming a good college player is about learning how simple the game can be. The guys who stay on the floor are usually the guys coaches trust to make the right decision over and over again. And Bryce is still developing that part of his game. But I also don't think people should look at this trip and act like Bryce is some finished product. Arizona redshirted him last season for a reason. Tommy Lloyd has talked about this being a long-term plan. Bryce is young for his class, and Arizona wanted to give him time to physically develop while learning the system without immediately throwing him into major college basketball games. The coaching staff has also said good things about the way Bryce handles himself. He fits in with the team. He doesn't bring unnecessary attention to himself, and he has been willing to learn. That matters because development is a lot easier when a player understands that he still has things to work on. And physically, you can see why people are interested in him. He is around 6'5" and 195 pounds. He has good size for a guard, he moves well, and there were moments on this trip where the potential showed up. He made threes,
created some turnovers, and showed flashes as a passer. The talent is there. This is not about Bryce becoming LeBron James. It is not even about Bryce proving everybody wrong immediately. It is about becoming somebody Tommy Lloyd feels comfortable putting on the floor when Arizona is playing a close game. If Bryce can reach that point this season, then I would consider it a successful year. Because once a coach trusts you, the minutes come. And once the minutes come, that is when we can really start finding out what Bryce James can become.